Scammer. Let me show you something. That's how much I cut my hair before. That's what stress does to you. Watch. I'm not gonna like this. I'm gonna say, oh my God, darling, what did you do? Oh, that was a screenshot. That's how much I cut it. My kids wouldn't come to my graduation. I know, you don't have to tell me. It's as ugly as you can get. You need to look back. You need to look past the hair, and the body, and the hair. You need to look at the soul. Because if you shaved off everyone's hair, we all had to be naked and vulnerable. And we all had the equal amount of money. And you'll see who has the most wealth. Never cut my hair again. I'm trying to grow it into a bob shape. Let me see if I have a... Come for a walk with me. Let's go for a walk. Anywhere we go. Let's go for a walk. Because I was so disappointed that my son ran away from me after everything I do. He's like, well, what do you do, darling? Oh, make videos. I write letters. I send you money. I go see you, only to get rejected, by the way. You know what? I'm single. I don't want to be single anymore. But I'm very picky with who I want to be with, because I haven't met any real men. I don't want to fall back into the same crap I did with the last person and put myself through that all over again. You know, everything that I went through. I might have his parents right now. You know, sometimes when people go through parental alienation, their children never come back. I read that. Kids never come back. Caden, you can't tell you how disappointed I am in yesterday. Because I am disappointed. You don't know how brainwashed you are, because you refuse to see how brainwashed you are. You want to believe everything these people tell you. What did I do to hurt you so much? And made you want to run away from your mother? Did I put on the heating? It's cold. all my stupid ass recycling that I never get any reward for. It's like, why do you bother doing it? Yeah, why do I bother doing it? Still have to take pictures of things. Right. I should put all the greens together, right? That's. I don't know if I took a picture of that. I think that I did, but I have to make sure I did. I know that I'm a good person, and I don't need anyone to tell me. I know that I'm a good person, and I don't need anybody to tell me otherwise. Got that. Clearly looking for something that I can't find. Right? You know, when you sell clothes online, there's always someone that's going to bitch about something. I guess I could wear these two to work. Mm-hmm. See what else? Even my son Connor doesn't want anything to do with his mother. Do you know how sad that is? Your own children want nothing to do with you. Do you know how sad? And how heartbreaking it is to know that your own flesh and blood don't want anything to do with you. I hope you never know what it feels like to be alone, to have 3 children, and to be completely on your own. I know what it feels like, because I've lived it. That's how I know what it feels like, because I've lived it. Like, why do you say that, darling? I say what? You don't own me. Caden, I'm disappointed in you. I'm completely disappointed in you. You're 16 years old. I'm extremely disappointed because you're only listening to one side of the story, and then you're making your opinions on one side of the story. You're forgetting everything else, right? It's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. You know, it's even more heartbreaking, the lack of support. That's even more heartbreaking. Nobody wants to help. You don't own me. Let me see what size this is. All right. It's almost 400. I missed this part. That's got a lot of. It's got a lot. I mean, there's not a whole lot of. I should have put more salt on this one. I really need to sell more stuff. You don't own me. No, you don't. All right. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to put one in the oven and see what happens. Alright, we're all gonna die. When you cook them, all the germs are gonna come off, so. I have garlic. I'll put garlic in with it. Taking the plastic off the garlic. You don't own me. Songs in my head. In my head, when you're fighting. In your head. Zombie. Put some onion in there too. Be careful of Montezana. If you don't know about Montezana, you need to get educated. They're the people that put all the pesticides on everything. You know, when you go into a supermarket and everything is unnaturally big, the reason it's unnaturally big is because it's filled with stuff that's not good for you. I know organic is more expensive, but all that stuff is going to give you cancer. Those pesticides. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Some olive oil. Can you see what I'm doing? You don't own me. Don't have any more of that gochujang, whatever you call it. I need to get some more of it, right? Gochujang. I have to go to Whole Foods to get it. Right. Now, piece de resistance. Pepper. Smoked, oh my god, that stuff is delicious. Smoked paprika. All right, this is going in the oven. In you go. You don't owe me. Hopefully I'm not going to get poisoned with salt. Your mom has 10 kids to feed and something falls on the ground, believe me, she's not going to throw it in the trash can. She has 10, if they have 10 mouths to feed. Garlic. Why not, right? You're not going to die from roasted garlic. I'm going to stick another one in the other thing. You don't owe me. Caden, disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed. I know you think you're doing the right thing, but I can assure you you're not. I'm very disappointed. pepper. I'm just basically, I starved my kids. Do I look like someone that starved my children? Maybe I'm not the fanciest cook in the world, but you know what? Katie, I am extremely disappointed in you. Really disappointed that you believe your father over your mother. And you know what? I would never have put you in the middle. I would never have done to him what he has done to you. And for you to ignore me and to run away from me and to not even give me the courtesy of talking to me, you know that you're only hearing one side of the story, right? Are you aware that you're only hearing one side of the story? If you want to make an informed decision, you have to listen to both parties. Not one, but I was never going to put you in that situation. I was never going to make you choose between your father and your mother. I know you want to believe them and you want to trust them because all you know is whatever they're telling you. I'm so disappointed in you, Caden, because we had something amazing and we had something beautiful, and you're going to allow that monster to take all that away from you. I'm disappointed. Very disappointed. I'm used to disappointment. Sadly, it's become a huge part of my life. Disappointment has. Okay, here we go. You ran away from me. You didn't even want to listen to me. You didn't want to give me the courtesy of talking to me. You just wanted to run away. Because you only want to listen to one side of the story, Caden. But I wasn't going to put you in this situation. I would have let you decide whether you want to hear the story or not. But you're choosing to listen to them. You're choosing to believe everything they tell you. All I can say to you, Caden, is how can you turn your back on your mother? How can you allow those bastards to do what they're doing? All those times I called you and you didn't even pick up the phone, not even one time. I've poured my heart out. I've done everything. I don't even get the courtesy of you wanting to talk to me. I am disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Connor, too. Doesn't mean I use the word, I don't. I love my kids. But can I be disappointed? Absolutely. I can be disappointed. And I am disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed that none of you have reached out to me. And that you have the nerve to run away from me because you don't want to know the other side of the story. You've no idea what I've been through. You have absolutely no idea what I've been through. And you don't even give me the courtesy of trying to talk to me. I could tell from yesterday, Caden, that you haven't even read any of my letters. I could tell that you haven't even watched any of my videos. You haven't read any of my letters. And if you have, then they don't mean anything to you. Your mother means nothing to you. And you know why? Because that's what your father and your grandparents want you to believe. They want you to believe that your mother is worthless and she doesn't have any value. And the way you treated me yesterday, Caden, and the way you lied to me 2 weeks ago, I am disappointed in you. I am extremely disappointed because I raised my son to be better than that. I don't want you to be a narcissist like your father and your grandparents. That's the last thing I want, Caden. But if you do not want to know the truth and you want to treat me like garbage, I will leave you alone. You'll never hear from me again. I was so disappointed yesterday. So disappointed. My own son didn't even give me the courtesy of wanting to talk to me. You're listening to one side of the story. You have no interest in, it's like a horse with blinders. You're listening to one side of the story, and that's all you know, and that's all you want to know. And if you don't want to give me the courtesy, that's fine, Caden. That's fine. You'll never hear from me again. I have done everything. I have done everything for you and your brothers. And even if you don't see it, I have. Because you weren't in court. But if you want to believe liars over your mother, then go ahead. You're going to grow up, Caden, and you're going to be sad and you're going to be lonely and you're going to be wishing that you'd reached out to your mother. And you know what? I hope it's not going to be too late. I have done everything. I have poured my heart out. And when my father died back in October, you didn't even give me the courtesy of a phone call. When my father passed away, your grandfather, not even the courtesy of a phone call. You don't think I was your age once? You don't think I was 15 once? I was 15 once. And you know what? You don't know my childhood. But I forgave my father. And I gave him the courtesy of going to his funeral. And I forgave him. You're hearing one side of the story. You've been brainwashed for 8 years. You've been brainwashed. And you're angry at me. And you won't even give me the courtesy of telling me why you're angry at me. Because I don't know why you're angry at me. I've done everything I can. And if you don't want to see me, Caden, and you want to believe those narcissists, and you want to turn out like your father, shame on you. You don't want to be like your mom. You want to be like your father. You want to believe what they're doing. You didn't even give me the courtesy of trying to talk to me, Caden. You didn't even give me the courtesy. I didn't even get a phone call. I didn't get a text. I get nothing back in return because you have so much hatred for your mother. And you know why you have that hatred? Because that's what your father and your grandparent want. They want you to have hatred. Do you know what brainwashing is, Caden? Do you have any idea what brainwashing is? I could tell from yesterday you haven't read one of my letters. I could tell. They've completely got in your head, Caden. Completely got in your head. When you get older and they're not there anymore, you're going to be saying, I wish I had reached out to my mom. You're going to say that, Caden. And I hope it's not going to be too late. You're going to say, I wish I had listened to my mother. I wish I had reached out to my mom. Because right now, you treated me like garbage yesterday. You treated me like absolute garbage. And I don't deserve that. And no mother deserves to be treated like garbage. Especially when I give you money every week. Especially when I write you letters. You know how many children out there would love a mother? You know how many young boys would love a mother? And you have that, Caden. But because they have more money and they're buying you new iPhones, you prefer all of that over a relationship with your mom. And you want to be angry at me because that's what he wants. He wants you to be angry at your mother. He wants your mind to be filled with horrible things about your mother. And Caden, you're allowing it because you gave me no courtesy yesterday. You treated me like garbage. And you lied to me. You lied to me 2 weeks ago and you told me it wasn't you when it was. I have the right to be angry, Caden. Because I keep trying and trying and trying. I've put my heart and soul into. And you don't want to believe me. You want to believe a narcissistic father and grandparents because they have more money and they have big houses. You want all of that and you're throwing away a relationship with your mother. You know what? I grew up with nothing. You know, when I was little, I always wanted a horse or a pony. That was my dream, is to have a horse and pony. You think I ever got a horse or a pony? We had a farm. Never had a horse or a pony. When I was about 14 years old, my neighbour, who's the same age as me, her name was Ruth O'Sullivan. Her father was an alcoholic too, but at least he bought her a pony. And she wouldn't even ride the pony, so they had asked me to ride the pony. So I used to go over every day and take care of that pony. I'd put the saddle on the pony and I'd take it and I would take it to get shoed. And then I would take it over to Macaulay's, where there was like 3 little kids. And Mrs. Macaulay had lost her husband. He died of something, I don't know what he died of. And they didn't have a whole lot of money, but guess what she did? She went out and she bought the 3 children ponies. That's what she did. And then after 2 years of taking care of the pony, you know what they did? I went over one day to ride the pony, and they told me they didn't need me there anymore. After 2 years of taking care of the pony. You know, when I was in school, I couldn't wait to leave school. I hated school. I had a learning disorder, and I never learned like the other students. I struggled, and I thought I was dumb. My childhood and your childhood, Caden, couldn't be more different. I had a father that I wished was never around. I wished I'd never seen him, and I wished he was never around. My mom's attention was divided between 10 children and my father. I hated school. I wanted to get my first job at 16, and my mom wouldn't let me. And then I tried to get my first job when I turned 7. I did get my first job when I turned 17. No one was going to stop me. And I hitchhiked to my first job. I hitchhiked from Kerry to, from Cork to Kerry. Because back then everyone hitchhiked everywhere. I used to hitchhike in my school uniform. Because I didn't want to wait for the bus. Anyway, your choice, Caden. You can continue hating me because that's what you're programmed to do. And that's what your brothers are programmed to do, to hate your mother. And that's your choice. You can hate me, but at least tell me why you're angry at me. I mean, the way you treated me yesterday, Caden, and lying to me 2 weeks ago and saying that you weren't Caden, and then pretending to go into a different house. You know, all those times that I called you and you wouldn't pick up the phone. I thought it was because they wouldn't let you. Now I realize you're so brainwashed that you believe everything that they're telling you. You know the dangers of parental alienation. You know the dangers. I don't even know why you're angry at me, Caden, Connor and Colin. I don't know why. Because you think that I'm not there. You think I walked out. I don't know what he's putting in your heads. Because you won't talk to me. But if you're going to hate me, Caden, If you're going to turn your back on me and you're going to hate me, at least tell me why. Give me that courtesy. Tell me why. Tell me, what did I do that made you hate me so much? Is it because I didn't go to your communion? I didn't go to your communion because your father didn't want me there. The only way I could see you was through supervision, and your father went and he destroyed that. I didn't get to choose the supervision place. I didn't get to choose the therapist. We were supposed to go to All Faiths. I went to All Faiths, and guess who didn't go? Your father. When Connor was seeing Chloe, and Connor told Chloe that he was hitting him and pulling his ear, you know what they did? They went and they complained about Chloe. This family is evil, Caden. And the last thing I want is for you to turn out like a narcissist. You're wondering why I do OnlyFans? I do OnlyFans so I can pay your child support. I went to school. I got 2 degrees. I couldn't get a job. My savings were dwindling. I had barely anything left. I had no choice. I do it for you. Even if you think I don't do it for you, I do it for you. Everything I do for my children. But obviously, Caden, you don't appreciate anything I do for you because you want to believe whatever they're telling you. All that garbage that they're putting in your head. You want to disown your mother because that's what your father wants. Shame on you, Caden, and Connor and Colin, because you know I love you. You know I love you. And you know that I'm just as hurt. But if you don't want to make an effort and you want to ignore me and you want to take all your anger and everything that he's done to you and you want to take it all out on me, then okay. You want me to stop fighting for you? Because yesterday, Caden, you completely ignored me. You completely ignored me. That's not the son that I raised. The son that I raised would hug me and kiss me and run to me. The son yesterday was not the son that I raised. The last thing I want, Caden, Connor, and Colin, is for you to turn anything out like your father, who's a racist, by the way. He calls black people that play basketball, he calls them stretch monkeys. And he sees black people when my children were little and we'd be driving and he'd see a black person in Albuquerque, he'd point to them and he'd say, there goes the neighborhood. And he said it was okay to talk like that because that's what he learned from his grandfather. I'm disappointed, Caden. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I'm disappointed.